Now, getting back to it, and if you haven't listened to the first post of this, then definitely go and listen and observe. That way, you can understand what's being communicated in this one. Now, I left off basically saying that a lot of times when people in relationships tell you that they're either intimidated of you or something to that effect, it's because of the fact what they're saying to you is that they cannot control the situation. They cannot totally control the relationship. So what I'm saying is, if a woman feels, or a man feels also, because there are brothers out there who feel that having a woman who may have more knowledge than them or may have more than them is intimidating. Okay? The control factor piece in this is this. If you're with an individual that you feel that has more than you create a sense of inadequacy. You feel that you do not stack up. You feel that your self-worth is lower because this individual has lower than you. Oh man, oh, oops, correction, this individual has more than you. Maybe it's compassion, more knowledge, more wisdom, more money, whatever. And what we've been taught in this society is that in order to have a successful relationship, there is one individual who has to be in control, and that individual that's in control has to have more of anything that connects to a relationship. If not, there is a problem, and they can't allow themselves to be with that person because they can't control it. That's the simplest I can put it. Now, going back to what I said in the first video, a relationship, the purpose of a relationship in any form of fashion is to learn, grow, attain wisdom, and create our lives based upon that wisdom. If we are running away from individuals who are potentially good for us in any type of relationship because we feel that they have more than us, or really we're feeling that we're less than, that throws off the lesson until you meet the next individual, and if the next individual has more or less, it's going to throw off the lesson. Now, where a lot of sisters or a lot of people miss it is that, okay, for example, she didn't choose to be with me because she was intimidated because of my knowledge. However, the same thing was going on in her other relationships with the brothers that couldn't appreciate her, because since they didn't have a certain level or knowledge about relationships, they were in the same boat as she were. And the lesson here to learn is that if you meet an individual and you like this individual, you favor this individual, and this individual just happens to know more or have more than you, one of the, if it's true and genuine, one of the reasons to be around this person is to attain some of what they have. Now, I'm not necessarily saying you should be with the individual that has more money or more wealth so you can attain some wealth, so you can attain their wealth. That's not necessarily what I'm saying. You be with that individual genuinely if you cherish them, genuinely love them, and favor them, because the knowledge that they have attained, you can learn from them, and you can possibly have similar things to that individual. So, so it's like this. if one of your goals is to be a millionaire or a billionaire, you're not going to learn nothing hanging around a person who's homeless or a person who is not a millionaire or a person who doesn't have that level of wealth. That's just the truth. It's like in the martial arts, you cannot successfully learn or move from someone who's never done it. You have to go around people and individuals and informational resources that actually do it, correct? If you choose to learn to drive a car, you don't learn to drive a car from an individual who has never driven, who has never touched a car. You learn it from an individual who has driven and is still driving a car. So in relationships, if an individual has more knowledge spiritually or whatever, and you truly cherish them, learn something from them. Because at the same time, that person, even though you feel that you're inadequate or that you don't have anything to offer, you do have something to offer, because you're possibly teaching this individual to be a giver, an unconditional giver of this knowledge or whatever it is that they have that you feel that you don't. Get what I'm saying here? The purpose of relationships, in some perspective, and some perspectives, depending on how you wish to look at it, relationships are supposed to aid us in coming up, being better. And when we're choosing to be in relationships where we're drugged down, where we're underappreciated, where love and compassion and action is not being reciprocated, we are stunting our growth. And that will also allow us to feel that we cannot give the same compassion and love to an individual who truly deserves it, because we've been giving it to those motherfuckers who don't deserve it. Period. Now, those of you that know, hey, you're deep into words. Why did you say motherfucker? Okay. Fuck is to screw, to penetrate and pull out quickly. Mother comes from the word matter. So we're dealing with an individual who wishes to screw and take from matter and not reciprocate and not truly appreciate. That's where we're coming from. Oh, that's where I'm coming from. So when we spend our time giving our energy towards things and individuals that's not going to meet us with the same type of return like that of certain religions and politics, we get nothing back. We should invest our energy into something that's going to give return. If I invest my energy into meditation and certain breathing practices, what's the reward? I'm going to be calmer. I'm going to be able to slow down the thought process to where I can see and hear and feel the things that normally a lot of us don't feel. That's the return. That's the, in so many words, that's the compensation for investing that energy. Okay? It's just like with money. Money shows us where we are investing our energy in. So if we love shoes, we're investing that energy in the shoes. And the return is that we're getting more and more shoes for whatever reason. If we invest our energy into this or that, we get back what that is. Okay? And that's one of the lessons that I wish to convey to you all at this time. Okay? One of the reasons that we're not having successful and balanced relationships, or a relationship based on harmony and balance is because of the fact we don't know how to give.